This is 8/22/2025. My journal entry. I put out to my buddy Tim. He wrote me a note and said something about I don't know, notorious or nefarious kind of actions going on in our government and by our president. I responded to him because I've been trying to get him to help me, and he has, in pointers toward, the response that I want to make. And I want to talk in behalf of the Declaration of Independence, or in behalf of George Washington, which I asked him about, because I don't know what George Washington's farewell address was, but I heard somebody say, make a reference to that. And I want to talk in behalf of Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, and John Hancock. I mean, he wrote his name big after all. I don't know what he would have to say right now. He'd have to say something. Anybody that writes his signature that big, he said that he wrote it that big to make sure that King George, I think that was his name, was King George, I don't know, but the King of Britain, King George, saying that he had signed that, seeing his signature, all right? And that goes down in the annals of history as a mighty lesson to all that would read and heed. And you, my grandchildren, I hope you read and heed, man. I hope you understand. That's why I'm coming to you the way that I am. I'm telling you things that are true. Look, man, John Hancock, that's what he said. He put his name big and bold. And do it. Okay? I've said that before. Do it. Make it big and bold. If your life is worth a shit, then capitalize on it. Because look, man, you only got this little bit of time. You only got a little bit of time in this life, and it's going to go by quick. It's going to go by fast. You're going to have a few chapters, and that's it. Make it worthwhile. Work on your sentence. Work on your paragraph. Work on what you say. See? That's what I'm telling you. This is probably the most poignant journal entry that I've made in hope that you, my grandchildren, like I was thinking about, looking at Boomer and looking at Mr. Sport, coming in, gonna take a piss. I go take a piss, Sport comes in. I see him. He puts his head over the side of the doorway, and he's looking at me. And he's getting a little bit older, Now he's getting like little, eyeliner around his eyes, kinda, his eyebrows and eyelash area kind of deal. And he looks at me and I look at him and I even say something to him. He don't say nothing back. And he goes, and I understand as he takes care of his business. And he ain't worried about nothing else, man. He takes care of his business. His business alone. He don't even need approval from me. He don't need approval from anybody. He takes care of his business. And that's Sport. Then Boomer comes in. He comes in like a dang tank. He is a tank. Like over 200 pounds probably. So I've been feeding him a little bit more, I used to only give him, Boomer, he'd always get 2 out of the bag, a 10-pound bag of chicken that I get for him, they come in legs and thighs. Some of them are bigger, some of them are little. I always give him a big one, and he gobbles it down fast enough that there's always, not always, but most of the time, usually one extra, like usually 8 in a bag. And I got 7 babies. So he gobbles it down pretty quick, you know. It's funny to see him, hum, hum, hum. He swallowed that thing whole. Seriously. Well, he come barreling in the bathroom, and, you know, look, man. I gotta flush the toilet. I gotta flush the toilet, man, and clean it up, you know. If I take a piss or something. And because Boomer, man, he'll put his head right down there in the bowl and start slopping it up. He's a beast. And he proves he's a beast. He's always been a beast from the day he was born. Some people try to criticize me that he's fat. Well, you know what? No. That's Boomer. And he ain't too fat. That's him. Accept it. Oh, you know, what I'm saying is that's a metaphor for a lot of other aspects in society. Okay? There's a parallel process for a lot of aspects in society. That's a myth for a lot of other aspects that give lesson to a lot of other aspects in society. And right now, what we got going on in our politics is we got a person, you know, trying to become the king of the world. All right? He's still sucking up to Putin. He looks up to Putin like his daddy. His name is Donald Trump. He's a weak bully, and that's all he is. But he's just like Adolf Hitler. Right now, California and Texas are the point men, all right? Donald Trump got Texas to try to get like 5 more seats in the House so that he can retain, you know, what little semblance of checks and balances on his side as possible, because he's doing away with checks and balances. He's got the whole Justice Department in his corner. They do his bidding. Pam Bondi has been paid off. This Vice President Vance, all right, you know, he's changed his name 3 times. That tells you how stable he is. Everybody in Trump's party and cabinet, and everybody that he's fired, and everybody that he's putting off into office is only for one purpose, and that's to be loyal to him, the dictator wannabe. He wants to be the first dictator of the United States of America, and the Declaration of Independence is saying bullshit. Bullshit. That's what the 13 colonies, the people that wrote that declaration, they had their complaints, and they are exactly similar to what's going on right now. And it's in the Declaration of Independence. Read it. Well, I realize I'm kind of talking to the future. All right. So that right there, that was the way that I feel. And I know you're going to be past this. You're going to be past this moment. But you got to understand, in this moment that I'm in right now, it brings tears to my eyes, because the President of the United States is trampling on the Constitution of the United States of America that we bled, that we died for. All right, these were human beings that stood for a purpose. They stood for a reason. They were willing to live and to die for a great cause, a sacred honor. All right, a sacred honor. And that's what I'm telling you, my grandchildren. That's what I'm telling you. In any situation, all right? Because I know your situation is going to be different than mine right now. But you gotta, look, man, I tried to tell you everything, all right, how you gotta be and how you gotta do, all right? But you gotta be and you gotta do. There's never gonna be any change. And I don't know what it all means in the end. After we're dead and gone, alright? But I guarantee you, man, live with a purpose and live with a cause because it matters. I don't know how it matters. I know it matters. Alright? It matters. Love you. Bye.